Its importance is second only to price. It's a distant second, but it's second only to price. Okay? Head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders, essentially this is a trend line. The neckline of a head and shoulders pattern is simply just a trend line. And therefore, because we're looking at a trend line, here's your shoulder, there's your head. Because we're looking at a trend line and looking at a breakdown through support or resistance, this can essentially happen in any market cycle, trending and non-trending. Okay, head and shoulders are kind of unique that way. So are flags, by the way. Flags are unique that way as well. They can occur in trending or distribution market cycles, because a flag is basically like a wide channel, okay, a wide short channel. So it could be traded as a reversal pattern or as a continuation. While most people know flags as bull and bear flags, reversal patterns, they still can be traded as continuation patterns, okay? And much of that is going to be dictated by, number one, the actual break of the support or resistance, but also by the market cycle that it is developing with it. Okay, so there are two unique patterns here, head and shoulders and flags, and they can occur in any market cycle. But my favorite market cycle for flags is distribution. I do like distribution flags. They tend to do very well. Flags don't create typically huge reversals or huge continuations. They're very short-term patterns, and since they're short-term patterns, they reflect a fairly short-term move or a short-term psychology. But again, just remember, if you ever get confused, what is a flag? It's two downtrend lines or two uptrend lines. Okay, don't forget the pieces of the pattern. As long as you don't stray too far away from what the pattern actually is, you won't stray too far from what you should do with it. Triple tops and triple bottoms, just like a rectangle. Same with double tops and double bottoms, just like a rectangle, because they can occur in both an accumulation or distribution cycle. If it occurs in accumulation, you're basically waiting for the breakout or breakdown. You're waiting for momentum to carry through the ceiling or carry down through the floor. Okay? If it's in a distribution, you're fading the ceilings and floors. All right? So very similar to a rectangle that we just discussed. Finally, the pennant. It's pretty much the same thing that we do with a symmetrical or regular triangle. Okay? It's going to start off most commonly as distribution. It's going to squeeze into an accumulation cycle. And what we're waiting for here is a breakout or breakdown. Now, I'm going to give you a little advanced kind of tip here. When you have an ascending or descending triangle, anytime you have a pattern with some sort of horizontal level, again, anytime you have a pattern with some sort of horizontal level, you absolutely have the opportunity to potentially fade that level. In other words, if you're still in the distribution cycle of a ascending or descending triangle, you can actually buy the floor of a descending triangle if you're in distribution, or short the ceiling of the ascending triangle if you're in distribution. If you're in accumulation, that trade is taken away. That is not a valid trade at that point. Okay? So these are the patterns that PRS scans for, and I also wanted to give you an idea, just open up the conversation to what some of the trading ideas are, and most importantly, what market cycles you should be even considering these in. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these patterns. I want to open up one of these patterns. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the 60-minute pattern here. I might have just signed myself out by accident. Let me just jump over to the other platform for a moment. Just bear with me here. One of the things I did want to show you is the fact that there is a plugin, and it will be available soon on the site. One of the things that with the separate platform, obviously you're getting a whole bunch of alerts, and you've got to jump back to your real-time platform, and then sometimes you'll find, it gets a little cumbersome to translate the charts back, the lines and levels back onto the charts, and make sure you got the touch points just right. One of the things that I always wanted was the ability to take those alerts that I saw listed on the PRS platform and apply them to my IBFX charts. So what you're looking at right now, and this is really cool because this is the stuff that I get all excited. See, I am a chart geek, aren't I? So this is the stuff that I get excited about. I can actually ask, by using this plugin, it's the PRS plugin, as I'm using it on my live Euro US dollar 15-minute chart. And again, this will be available, I think, in the next few weeks at the IBFX website. So you're getting kind of a sneak peek here. I can ask it to show me, for example, the last one completed pattern and the last two emerging. In other words, show me a certain number of the patterns that are occurring right now on the 15-minute Euro US dollar. Give me the most recent ones, and let me see the lines and levels automatically drawn on my chart. Okay, so that's part of what you can have on your charting platform, and you can run it across multiple time frames. But so here I see, and it's a little small, I know, but the last complete pattern, which is complete, is just signaling that the pattern broke. The lines and levels of the pattern broke. You can see here the blue line is the completed line. It broke up through the resistance of the blue line. The last emerging pattern is a wider channel up, and that's in yellow. So these lines and levels, basically what are they? They're support and resistance, right? So these support and resistance levels are automatically plotted on the chart. Okay? I don't have to jump back and forth and draw them manually. And I love this. In fact, when I use PRS, I like incorporating it into my live charts. So again, this will be something that will be available very soon. I'm running it right now. I believe it's still in the testing phase, and it'll be a self-extractor. And again, I'm thinking that we'll have, for those of you that want it, the green, red, and blue, my grab study. We're hoping to have that available as well. No guarantees. I don't know when, but I believe it's something that we're going to have available soon as well. Okay? All right. So what do I want you guys to take away from the talk we just had? Because I'm sure for some of you that was old hat with a few new ideas, and for others of you, you're thinking, oh my gosh, what did I just sign up for? Gang, I would much rather talk to the highest common denominator than the lowest. I would much rather some of you be a little overwhelmed than underwhelmed, because what I hope I've done then is got your brain moving in a direction where now you want some more answers. It comes down to the knowledge to go seek out more knowledge. Now, you might think to yourself, wow, I got maybe 10% of what she just said. But what I'm hoping is when we bring up the discussion again, and when you take a look at a triangle pattern at some point in the future, if all you remember is, gosh, she told me that this pattern should be happening in a sideways market. Fantastic. If that's all you remember, that's great. If you don't, if you didn't follow all the fading and the exhausting, that's fine. Don't worry about it. I just want your brain to get that little idea where in the future, when we bring it up again, and we will, you can begin to put these ideas hopefully to work. For those of you that are brand new, please keep in mind that this is our third meeting together, so we're cumulatively getting more advanced. Okay, we started off quite slow, and now we're into the third lesson of the series. So for those of you that are feeling a little left behind, again, each month this is a process. We start from a very basic level, and we keep getting more and more advanced as we go. And then again, at the very end of the month, the reason we have the big, huge session is I have the time to really break this stuff down into smaller pieces, attend to more questions, and start putting these things together. So remember, what you're getting now is, you know, kind of, if you're a foodie, kind of an amuse-bouche. We're just kind of giving you a taste of other things to come. This is just getting you ready for when we give you the main meal. Okay? There's certain concepts we need to cover, and that's what we're doing right now.